Hey, thanks for setting aside the time. I appreciate it. Wanted to spend a few minutes talking about today's customer or the internet customer. This is the first of probably 3 or 4 parts in a series we're going to do just to get you used to or understanding more today's customer so that you can sell more cars. Now, if you don't do anything else, if you don't watch any more slides, this is the one that will give you success. Just jot these down and go forth and do these things, and you'll be just fine. Knowing your product, knowing your inventory, knowing your incentives. Customers have those questions. If you're able to respond quickly with that, you'll do well. Always, always, always be kind, right? It's one of those things that get us far in life. And communicate all this over multi-channels. And what I mean by that is you can text, you can email, you can talk to people on the phone, shoot videos, but be able to communicate for multi-channels. Now, I've got to back up just a bit, talk about how we got here, where we are today. You know, in the past, we used a lot of TV, we used a lot of newspaper, very broad marketing. And we were looking at, awareness, interest, decisions, and customers taking actions. We would, just send out tons of emails. We would make tons of phone calls. We would broadcast just all over the place. Well, things changed, right? The internet happened, right? It's just, no disrespect to Mr. Al Gore, please. Don't take it as that. It's just kind of funny. But the internet had really changed the way we manage our time, customers manage their time, and the way we find things we want when we want them. Now, the journey to buying a car, the journey to ending up in front of you, there are a lot of things that go on. And all of these things really happen before they end up in front of you. And as you can see, at the top we have this awareness, consideration, and ready to buy sequence. But what we're running into now, what you're going to encounter, are these moments that a customer is in. And they're not in any particular order. They can happen at any time. But typically, when you're talking to a customer, they are going through one of these moments. They're having a moment, I guess, as you would say. But you need to be ready to move on to the next step, to be able to deal with these "is it right for me" moments, and then move them along in the buying process. So I'm leaving this slide intentionally blank. So some of you may be thinking, boy, this internet stuff's a little heavy, a little deep, may not be right for me. Well, this is your time to get out, right? It's okay for you to click out, stop, go on and do something else. I wish you the best. But we're going to start to move a little deeper into the internet. And so you may want to hold on to the side of the pool if you need to, right? So let's talk about some of these moments that you're going to have to deal with, that customers are going to have. And you need to help them first, which car is best. You want to help them understand new versus used versus CPO. It's kind of confusing. And I'm not going to read the list to you. You can see what's on there. Safety, I can tell you, is a big, big factor today. And being able to send customers things like branded reviews, in other words, from Edmunds, from Car and Driver, to help them know that your car is the car that they should choose. There's an ownership moment, right? Is it right for me? And that's where you want to be able to talk about performance, the options that they may be looking for, like third row seat, or the one I always think is funny, rear navigation. I don't really think that's an option. But customers are trying to figure out, will it fit in my garage? And of course, safety comes back up again. A cost moment, can I afford it? Payments and pricing. We do a pretty good job of confusing people, right? When you talk about 4 squares and 9 squares, right? But trying to figure out if they're going to be able to afford it. takes a lot of hand holding. And you just need to be frank. You just need to be upfront, and you need to be truthful. When you're talking to people about credit worthiness, that can be an uncomfortable conversation, right? You just need to get comfortable with that. Moving along. A value moment, am I getting a good deal? Well, you need to be able to share with them, some of the deals that are out there, some of the incentives available to them or to the general public, and then being able to deal with when they're coming back at you with like true car pricing, or I saw this on Edmunds. Value is what you need to be able to communicate. Also, the value of leasing, right? There's definitely a group of customers that would benefit from leasing. You need to be able to explain leasing pretty easily and pretty quickly. Now, a why buy moment. Now, we're going to talk about this in our next segment, our next little class, little get together, because it's kind of funky, and you got to get your mind around it, and you got to get ready for it. But these are basically why buys. Why buy from you? What others have to say about your store, what others have to say about you. What are your competitive advantages? And of course, location, location, location. We talk about it all the time. It's cool to sell somebody a car in California, but typically it's folks that are right around you that you're going to be selling cars to. And yet, it's going to be on the internet. They're not really just going to come in the store, even though they live in Macon, huh? So you got to be ready. And be ready again to deal with these moments. Now, these aren't confrontational moments. This is part of the journey that customers are going to have. And it's the way things operate today. And of course, it's ever changing. It's not the latest, but really it's that mobile phone. There are many customers that mobile phone is their computer. That's their home computer. They keep it in their hand. They no longer have a desktop or even a laptop. They've got it right there in their hand. And so they're doing a lot of these operations, and their expectations are to be able to talk to someone. When they see someone that says, hey, click to call, but they call and they don't get the answers that they're looking for, very disheartening, very frustrating. So they abandon, so they X you out, right? With this little bit of information, right, you can tailor your communications to customers. You understand where they're at and what information you need to provide them. Do this with success, you'll sell them a car. All right, so I look forward to any questions you have, any discussion you want to have, either online or offline. But I want to thank you for spending time with me. Now, coming up in Internet 102, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So stick around for that. Take care.